I'm going to present to you the best AI writer you can find on the internet right now. And it is trained by a lot of data, mostly my data. But at the same time, it is not just a matter of the output, but also the experience of interacting and using it. So over here, what I did was, this is a single conversation. I'm going to show you from scratch later on, but for now, I want to do a quick one. So over here, it says hi, right? And hello, Felix. It knows my name. This is running on NEO. It knows my name. So hello, Felix. Good to see you. I'm ready to help you shape the next piece for the channel or the list. What is the one thing you found yourself repeating to a client, a team member, or yourself this week? That is usually where the best content hides. So I spun up a ChatGPT instance, and I said, help me roleplay an AI bot. It's a consultant AI that asks you questions that writes content for you. In this roleplay, you act as an expert who is prone to talking too many industry insider jargon. There is a market for you, but it's usually word of mouth rather than attracting true content creation. But you are not someone who knows anything about marketing at all. Be specific, give details and rich schema, but when I send you its output, you reply as a lazy human, okay? So I want ChatGPT to interact with this guy over here as a lazy human. Imagine someone who is at the end of a very long day. You've just done your work and you just need to push your content out right now. So it has role defined, AI bot persona, senior industry consultant, narrow, technical, insider-minded, blah, blah, blah. All this you can pause when if you want to take a closer look. And I give the exact output that it gave me. And it says, honestly, clarity doesn't come from more thinking. It comes from making small decisions and watching what happens. Now, the reason why this came about is because of the kind of question that NEO will ask you when you're using the Evolving Authority. So it asks you, like, what is the one thing you find yourself repeating? But if I say you already have an idea, it will still be able to guide you. It will be able to do so exceedingly well. And as of now, ChatGPT is simply responding to it. And right now, NEO responded by saying that is a classic truth. And it aligns perfectly with the clarity comes after the cut philosophy we've touched on before. Clarity comes after the cut philosophy is something that I spoke with NEO before, and NEO remembers that context. And it also happens in one of the files that I have inside my vault. Looks like my internet is... All right, I'm back. So this part here, it actually comes from one of the files that I uploaded over here. So each of these are actually a Google Doc about my work, about my philosophy, about things like that. So it actually knows about this. Clarity comes off the cut. So NEO is exceedingly is very good at knowing you and finding out about you. So it came out like this, and it says, to make this fresh and not just philosophical repetition, what was the specific situation that triggered this? So it asked for some specific over here. Was there a client staring at two options for too long, or someone trying to build a perfect plan before taking step one? Give me the scene. So ChatGPT says, client stuck for 2 weeks choosing between two offers, both good, minor differences. I told him to launch one by Friday. He'd pick, ship, and learn more in 48 hours than in the prior 14 days. So in this instance, right, NEO kind of sensed that, okay, this guy doesn't feel like talking. And this guy just wants to get things done. So he instantly write this out, the 14-day tags. So you can read and see the quality is very, very good. So it's a subject line options. You got like 5 as a preview. The subject lines are also very good. The 14-day tags, pick one, simulation versus reality, database deliberation, why you are stuck. Preview line, it costs more to wait. Email body, I watched a client lose 2 weeks of momentum recently. He had 2 offers in front of him, both looked viable. The difference between them was minor, but he was paralyzed. For 14 days, he tried to figure out which one was the winner. He built pro-con lists and ran revenue simulations in his head. He believed that if he analyzed it long enough, the right answer would reveal itself. I had to stop him. You're trying to predict the market in the vacuum. You can't think of a way to this answer. I give him a constraint. Pick one. Launched it by Friday. He did. He picked the one that felt slightly better and shipped it. In the next 48 hours, he learned more about his market than he had in the previous 2 weeks of analysis. The market gave him direct, immediate feedback. He saw who clicked and who bought. He saw exactly where the copy fell flat. The clarity he was looking for didn't come from the analysis. It came from the action. So this was the insight. This was the story. This was the insight. It says, we often mistake thinking for working. We feel productive when we are strategizing. But often we are just hiding. We are delaying the risk of being wrong, but the cost of the delay is high. He paid a 14-day tax just to feel safe. If you are staring at 2 good options right now, analysis has likely hit the point of diminishing returns. The decision doesn't matter as much as the data you get from making it. Movement creates the net. Nice, solid. And if you have a call to action, you can actually tell the AI to put the call to action down there. And because it knows my writing style, it knows that I always sign off like that. This is not programmed in, it's actually given by me under here, under the samples. So under the samples, there is actually this thing here, the current campaign emails. And this is a collection of all of my stuff, all of my emails. So you can actually just put stuff inside here, add sample, turn it on, and it will copy it exactly, right? Now, if at the same time, one thing which is particularly interesting over here with NEO is that you can actually just highlight whatever that you feel was wrong. As an example, I didn't say the exact line, and if I don't agree, we can just click on reply to this. As you can see, improving from artifact, I can just type whatever feedback that I want, hit enter, and NEO will come up with version 2. And at the same time, if you want to edit directly from inside here, you can actually click on this button here, and you come up with this rich text editor where you can edit whatever you want to edit inside, and you can click on save. And once you click on save, it's going to come out with a new version as well. So this is the end result demonstration. I want to quickly run through this so that I can show you the juicy part. Now, if this is the first time you're actually using NEO, I want to show it to you how NEO actually works. You got the typical sidebar fare, which is what happens typically in ChatGPT, Claude, whatever it is. You have projects that you can start and whatnot. Whatever I showed you just now was from the Evolving Authority Archetype. So Evolving Authority Archetype, archetypes are to NEO what custom GPTs are to ChatGPT and what gems are to Gemini. It's effectively a bot with specialized trained knowledge, but there is something better in the way that I do it that you can't find it with custom GPT and Gemini and gems. And the reason why is because what we did over here is not a single AI that you're talking to, even though it feels like a single AI. What happens in the background is a lot more sophisticated, and I'm going to explain to you how that works later on. But basically, you have this on the sidebar here, and you have the three modes over here: assistant, consultant, and coach. Assistant will be just a typical AI. He will answer you in whatever way a typical AI will answer you. A consultant will not just answer you. The consultant will correct you. The consultant will tell you what is best case. As an example, this part here, honestly, clarity doesn't come from more thinking. It comes from making a small decision and watching what happens. So in this part here, if you just create an email based on that, it is not really ideal. And the reason why is because it may sound comes off as a lecturing, as what is the word I'm looking for? Philosophizing. It sounds like platitudes. You know, like if you just post something like this on X or on Facebook or email, it's just another email advice. But as you can see, what the consultant did was to make this fresh and not just philosophical repetition. What was the specific situation that triggered this? So you see, the entire interaction is short, but it's actually very powerful. And all of this happens behind the scene. So anyway, you got the consultant, all right? And you got a coach. Coaches are basically when you are facing a dilemma, tough decision, or certain things you want to work out inside of your heart that you really need to lay it out. This is when you use the coach. So over here in the Evolving Authority now is using consult. And on the right side over here, you got memory, knowledge, log, and learning. Ignore diagnostics because diagnostic is me as the admin, I have it. The rest of you don't have it. So you got memory. Inside memory, you get all these categories, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can ignore these things when you are talking to NEO. Whenever NEO realizes certain things about you that it wants to learn, it wants to keep into memory, it will automatically suggest, and you will see like cards appearing on the right side in the review section. And over time, you'll see that, okay, user is currently a one-man developer team. User has a community group called Authority Scalers. User is building a protocol in the best made. And you got profile. So over time, as you learn, as you continue talking with, interacting with NEO is going to learn more about you, but it don't just learn, it will actually use whatever it is that you read over that it remembers over here to inform its output. So over time, it's going to become like a very close advisor and consultant for you. Under the, if you want something very specific, if you want NEO to learn something without something very important about you, you can either continue having conversation over here, or you can tell NEO about it over here. So as an example, my name is Felix. So if you type over here and press enter, it already knows that my name is Felix. So I don't think it's gonna call up. Oh, you see, looks like I already have a memory that your name is Felix. Is there anything else you'd like to update or add? Right. So if you give it a new information over here, it's gonna remember it and gonna propose a memory card over here to show you. So that is basically the learning panel. The knowledge panel is basically where you can upload files. Okay, when you press on this part over here, it says create text file or import Google Doc. When you want to import Google Doc, you are able to import whatever Google Doc over here that you have in terms of skills or knowledge. You can put it over here. Create text file. You can click on that and you can just enter whatever it is that you want NEO to remember about you. Artifacts is basically the stuff that we create just now. Like over here, this thing over here on the right panel, that's an artifact. So the artifacts that you want NEO to keep remembering exists over here, but notice that there's this side handle that says open vault, right? You can click on the open vault and all of the artifacts that you ever created in your entire account wide exist over here. If you want to load it into this conversation, you can click on, you can open it up, and then you will see that over here, there is like this is the one that we just did. You can click on add to loadout and it will add directly to loadout. So this is, in other words, called the loadout panel. You got the files, you got the artifacts, whatever it is that you want me to really, really know about a particular file or document, you put it over here. But be careful, it costs a lot of credits. Otherwise, if you just want NEO to know generally and you want NEO to RAG, those of you who are technical, you know what RAG is. In other words, it's long-term memory, but doesn't cost a lot. You put it over here in the vault, and it's very simple. You can just click on add text file or Google file over here. If you want NEO to know about it, as an example, this is my Felix Envisioning Project 2026. I can click on add to loadout. It will put it over here. Okay, and if you once it finishes loading, if you want to remove it from loadout, you can just click on that. It will remove it back to the vault. All right, so that is basically like how NEO works. Now, what it does and the reason why it can come up with such good framing and content, is because of the way it works. So like whatever I just show you, that's a quick introduction to NEO. I've shown you the result of this whole thing, but now I want to take you behind the scenes and actually share with you exactly why this works. So now the first Evolving Authority, the NEO archetype, has a few jobs. Number one, it will listen to whatever thoughts, reflections, or observations that you have and try to find an angle. And there is actually, I give it a 28 story archetype angle. So it will try to find, based on whatever it is that you're sharing, it will try to find an angle in there. And if it can't find, it will coach you to try and find it so that you can convert that rambling or whatever random thoughts that you have into a high status content that breeds loyalty, that converts your readers into your customers or your clients. If you don't have any idea what is it that you want to say, you've got no clue at all, okay? Like this guy over here that I show you, like no clue what to say. It's gonna dig it out of you. And if you already know what to say, sometimes we feel very charged up. Sometimes we feel very emotional. We are emotional about something. Either positive or negative emotion is still emotional. But we have certain things that we really feel like we want to get off our chest, or maybe we want to report something. NEO will ensure that you are saying it correctly and saying it properly. Not whether or not it's professional is a separate matter altogether, but it will ensure that you say it in a high status way. It will ensure that you say it without damaging your brand. If you show any form of side character behavior, sometimes, in business, we are not always on all the time. Sometimes we are off. Actually, most times, business is a very, very few rare occurrences of very on high times, but most of the time, it's like we are working, we are hustling, we are just doing the work, right? If ever you show any form of side character behavior or you are whining towards NEO will call you out on it, and it's gonna coach you through it. And it's going to help you reframe whatever situation you're in into something that is positive and productive. When it writes, right, you will notice that NEO have zero AI telltales. Like you cannot look at this and tell me that, hey, this sounds like AI. It's impossible, right? So just look at it and you can judge the quality by yourself. And if you're not happy with my quality, hey, this is trained on my writing style. This is exactly how I write. If you don't like how I write, you just simply put in your own writing style, All right, you put in your own writing style, and you will follow that writing sample exactly. Simple as that. And in terms of the content it will write, you will be able to write emails, social media posts, long form, all right, short form social media posts. It will create that thread style content, blogs, articles, advertisements, video scripts, whatever. As long as it's written, it will be able to help you do it. As long as you feed it with the right sample. So like right now, I wanted an email. So I give it a lot of email samples. So it created email output for me. If you want thread, you give it thread. It will create thread for you. If you want articles, you create articles. You create articles for you. If you want reports, proposals, offers, right? You just give it example. It will do it for you. Strategizing. It will help you plan your campaign because NEO has been trained on all of my own personal mental models and frameworks on how to strategize campaigns. So if you need NEO to help you with a certain strategy, all you gotta do is like you want to sell something, you want to launch something, you want to create a email campaign. Just tell it NEO about it, and NEO will help you identify what to do and exactly what is the kind of email to write with each day. If you're not converting, if you have been writing certain things and your email hasn't been converting well, all you got to do is just give NEO subject line. All right, the email subject lines. All right, content. You give it your open rate. You give it your click-through rate. You give it your conversion rate, conversion number of people who actually bought, price point, etc., or whatever information you give it. It will be able to analyze the result and advise you. And the reason why is because it's been trained on exactly how I do it. So, and the reason why the output is so good, right, is because of a particular 3-agent pipeline, which is something I'm very excited to share. So, in this part over here, this is what happens on the back end. I'm able to create, this is a system prompt backend. I'm able to create archetypes like over here. This is the Evolving Authority Archetype. I'm able to add more archetype. So this is the backend stuff. And I'm very excited to bring this, allow NEO users to be able to do the same. It's just that right now I'm testing this particular workflow. And once it's tested, then I will be able to help you guys do the same thing. But basically you have like info, orchestrator, interviewer, executor, checker, debug, or whatever lot, right? So you got the orchestrator side over here. The reason why it's working is because you're not actually talking to one AI, you're talking to 3 AI. They are interviewer, executor, and checker. And the reason why I did that is because I find that AI is great at doing one small job very well. But if you try to give the AI multiple jobs at a time, it will start to drift. It will start to be lazy. It will not do as much. So you're actually talking to 3 AI agents over here. So the first agent that you're talking to is the interviewer agent. It has the system prompt and priming prompt all set up. And under the orchestrator layer, it has all these my current campaign emails of Evolving Authority, which is the skills backend that it needs to know. The 236 chunks is a lot. So I'm able to set certain system prompts, certain priming prompt. Under each layer, I have system prompt and priming prompt so that I have full control over exactly what each agent knows and should be doing. So I hyper define exactly what they're doing. Like over here, I'm using Gemini 3 model, but I can choose whatever model that I want to put inside. And then what I do then is that under the interviewer, right, I train it, I prompt it to be able to ask the kind of question that it asks you. And under the executor only have one job, which is to write. It doesn't talk to you. And then under checker, what checker does is that checker confirms. It will actually it's actually one of these things, like 6 factors. Once the interviewer has talked to you and gathered enough information, it feels they have enough information, it's gonna ask you, hey, do you want to, you don't see it right now because it's already done, but there's actually a card that appears over here. It's like ready to write. And then you can press execute. The moment you press execute, it's gonna start writing. So over here, it starts writing. And once it starts writing, it will come out with the first draft, right? That is basically the executor come out with first draft. And then the executor will go into the checker and give checker different, like this draft, and the checker will go in and check the draft against a few things. Number 1, how does the content read from the perspective of the intended reader? How does number 2, how does this content compare against all of the rules and principles detailed inside the the skills file, the vault files. Number 3, how aligned is this content with what NEO knows about the user, which means that NEO will take into account your memory that you give it, into whatever files you have in your vault, whatever files you have in your loadout. How aligned is it? Number 4, how well does this content follow the writing style given by the user in samples? So it compares all of this, and how well would this content achieve the intended outcome when read? So if let's say this outcome is to educate, how well does this achieve that? If the intended outcome is to close sales, how well does this outcome achieve that? And does every sentence ring true? So if any of these fails, right, what this does, what the checker does is that the checker will send the copy back to the executor, and the executor will then redo, the checker will give it back with feedback. Okay, this line here, not right. This line here, not right. So it saves you from the trouble of editing it. And then the executor will revamp it, and then, or rather rewrite it or edit it, and then send it back to the checker again. And this happens like multiple times, up to a maximum of 5 times. Once it finishes that, then it will create the final output, and this is what you see over here. All right. So I'm just gonna do a quick one to show you guys. So if I say hi, this is the debug panel, not the live one. The debug, so that I can show you like something really cool. Hello, Felix, ready to turn some of the analytical energy of high-distance content? So the reason why it still knows me even in the backend is because the backend is tied to my account. So I already created a certain roleplay button here that when I press, it will automatically allows me to roleplay over here, so I don't have to press many things. So when I click on roleplay, okay, hey, I got like 10 minutes. What do you need? This is literally an AI talking to another AI. We can make that work. To get a solid draft in time, I just need a seed. What is one specific thing you found yourself explaining, correcting, or arguing about this week? I'm going to click on that again to generate. Probably people keep screwing up oxygen compatibilities. It's just the AI is just picking up very random niche to work on. Like you treat it like regular training materials, and then you get surprises. Not sure what you want. I mean, between calls, that's a strong start. Surprises in oxygen system usually means fires or explosion, not just errors that sharpen the angle so it hits hard. When they treat like regular cleaning, what is the specific mistake they make that scares you the most? They assume clean means no visible grime, or they wipe it with whatever shop rag alcohol and call it good, and then they use whatever grease they have around because it's just it speaks like a regular human. It's mostly small shops, not NASA. All right, cool. So this is a classic invisible threat angle. The gap between looking clean and being chemical compatible is where the danger lives. Quick check to ensure that the draft lands. Are you ready to sell a specific audit or training, or simply to establish authority as the expert? Then we'll roleplay again. So you ask, like, what is the purpose of it? Also, can you not make it sound like influencer stuff? There you go. See it? The card comes up, ready to write. A high status post arguing the visually clean is a dangerous metric for oxygen systems. I click on execute. So over here in the backend, you won't see the artifact appearing because it's the backend. But you literally see like, okay, right now you have this writing part over here. And as you can see, we are entering refining 2/5. That's a second revision. So this is literally happening in backend when you are interacting with your NEO. So now it has gone to 3/5. Okay, we are almost done. It's like 4/5, 5/5. So basically what's happening here is the executor and the checker loop. And now it is almost ready. It will come up. It will produce the content now. And that's it. And the card is done. This is the content is written. So this is basically what happens at the back end and how like something like this appears. So I'm happy for you to test it out. But I want to like really share like how excited I am about these things, because like this stuff, right, happens in all of the like whatever written content you want to make, this will make it happen. All right. So if whatever reports, like right now I'm using it for Evolving Authority, but you can actually use it for many other things as well, right? We can create archetypes for many other things. Like, let's say you want to create an archetype for role play. You want to create an archetype for I don't know, like reports. You want to create an archetype for sales pages. Like this, in fact, one of the next archetype I'm working on in the next version of this is I've already done the content. The next version of it, I'm working as the 30-minute author doc, sales page writer. So I'm excited to show you guys that as well. So in this video, I just want to show you guys like what is the outcome, what is the potential of it. And I want you guys to be very excited because right now, all I did so far is I created the pumping, the backend to make sure that I'm able to create this and refine it. And once I refine it and make sure all these things are spick and span, like really working reliably, I'm able to then grant you guys, the NEO users, the ability to do the same for your particular niche and craft too. We are entering the age of, we are already inside the age of AI. People are no longer really interested in like buying training and skin. And I mean, there are still people who are interested in them, but people are more interested in like, what can we do that can, like, people buying bots trained with knowledge rather than just knowledge. So when you incorporate something like this into your own workflow, and into your own expert-based businesses, right? I hope you can see the potential. And that's all from me. This is the end of my video. If you want to see more of this, I'm gonna be doing a lot of videos on like testing the capabilities of Evolving Authority and stuff. If you're interested, like and subscribe.